The poetry of Paula and Peter. One sunny morning, Paula and Peter decided to explore their garden. They love to play outside, but today something felt extra special. As they walked among the bright flowers, Paula spotted a tiny butterfly resting on a yellow daisy. "Look, Peter," she said, "I think the butterfly is telling us a secret." Peter smiled and whispered, "Maybe it's a poem fluttering on its wings." Together, they listened closely to the soft hum of the garden, feeling the magic of words all around them. Paula picked up a smooth stone and said, "Let's make our own poem about the garden." Peter nodded eagerly. They sat down on the soft grass, watching the clouds float by. Paula began, "The flowers dance in colors bright, the sun is shining, oh what a sight." Peter laughed and added, "The breeze sings songs so soft and sweet, it makes the trees tap their leafy feet." Their voices blended like music, and the garden seemed to smile back at them, joining in their joyful rhyme. Suddenly, a little bluebird flew down and perched nearby. It chirped a happy tune that sounded just like a poem too. Paula clapped her hands. "Even the birds love poetry." Peter nodded. "Let's write a poem for the bird." They whispered words about songs, wings, and skies so blue. The bird seemed to sing along, hopping from branch to branch, making the garden a magical place where poetry was everywhere, waiting to be found and shared by friends like Paula and Peter. The Silly Sounds of Sally and Sam. One bright morning, Sally and Sam found a shiny whistle lying on the soft green grass. When they blew into it, out came the silliest sound, like a mix between a giggle and a honk. Excited, they started making more silly sounds, laughing as they tried to copy animal noises and funny tunes. Their silly sounds echoed through the park and made the flowers seem to dance in the breeze. As they walked down the path, Sally made a buzzing bee sound, and Sam flapped his arms like a bird. Soon, a little bluebird joined in, chirping along happily. The dog in the park barked a funny tune, and even the squirrel tapped a tiny rhythm on a tree trunk with its paws. Sally and Sam couldn't stop laughing at how all the silly sounds were turning into a joyful song. At the park bench, Sally and Sam decided to play a game. Who could make the silliest sound? Sally made a funny honking noise that sounded like a silly horn, and Sam tried a wobbling, wiggly whistle that made everyone giggle. The magic whistle sparkled in their hands, and the sounds seemed to float up into the sky like bubbles. Everyone nearby stopped to listen and soon joined in the silliness. By the end of the day, Sally and Sam had filled the whole park with silly sounds and laughter. They learned that making funny noises wasn't just fun for them, it made everyone feel happy and friendly. With the magical whistle safely tucked away, they promised to share their silly sounds again soon. And as the sun set, the park hummed with the warmest, happiest sounds of friendship. The Happy Horses Gallop. Once upon a time, in a bright and sunny meadow, there lived a happy horse named Hazel. Hazel had a shiny chestnut coat that sparkled in the sun, and her laughter filled the air as she galloped through the tall grass. Every day was an adventure for Hazel, and she loved to run fast, feeling the wind in her mane and the soft earth beneath her hooves. "Gallop, gallop, hooray!" she would shout as her heart danced with joy. One sunny day, as Hazel was galloping, she spotted her friend Benny the bunny hopping nearby. "Benny, come play with me," Hazel called out. Benny twitched his ears and hopped over, excited to join in. Together, they raced across the meadow, with Benny bouncing alongside Hazel's galloping hooves. Their laughter echoed like music, making the flowers sway to their happy tune. Suddenly, they heard a sweet chirping sound. It was Bella the bluebird perched on a branch above them. "Can I join your race?" she chirped happily. "Of course," said Hazel and Benny, excited to have a new friend. Bella flew high above them, singing a lovely song. Hazel galloped faster, and Benny hopped higher, trying to keep up with Bella's melodies floating through the air. As the sun began to set, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink, Hazel, Benny, and Bella slowed down, panting but happy. "What a fun day," Hazel said, smiling at her friends. "I love galloping with you both." They all agreed that playing together was the best part of their day. With hearts full of joy, they promised to meet again tomorrow for more adventures in the meadow. The Clever Cat's Whiskers. In a bright and bustling village lived Whiskers, the clever cat with the twitchiest whiskers you ever saw. Whiskers loved to explore and think up fun ways to help her friends. Every morning, she would stretch her paws and wiggle her whiskers, ready for a new adventure. One sunny day, Whiskers noticed her friend Benny's kite stuck high up in the tallest tree. Benny looked sad because he couldn't reach it. Whiskers thought for a moment, her whiskers twitching wildly as a bright idea sparked in her mind. With a clever grin, Whiskers gathered her friends to help. "Let's build a kite ladder," she said excitedly. The bluebird brought shiny ribbons, the puppy fetched sticks, and Benny helped tie everything together. Whiskers used her twitchy whiskers to measure and guide the perfect length. Soon, a wobbly but colorful ladder reached up to the kite. Everyone cheered, and Whiskers climbed carefully, her whiskers twitching with excitement. She reached the kite and gently untangled it, returning it to Benny with a proud smile. Benny hugged his kite happily and thanked Whiskers and her friends. "Your clever whiskers and kind heart helped save my kite," he said. Whiskers purred softly, her whiskers twitching in delight. From that day on, everyone in the village knew that with a little cleverness, a twitch of imagination, and a lot of kindness, any problem could be solved. And Whiskers? She couldn't wait for the next adventure, her whiskers twitching all the way. The Heart of Kindness. Once upon a time, in a bright and sunny forest, there lived a big, fluffy bear named Benny. Benny loved to play, dance, and sing with his friends. But one day, he noticed that his friends were feeling a bit down. The rabbit was sad because he lost his favorite carrot, and the squirrel was worried because it was too quiet. Benny thought hard, how could he help them feel better? Benny had an idea. He gathered some flowers and made a big, beautiful bouquet. He ran to his rabbit friend and said, "Here, this is for you. I picked these just for you because you make me smile." The rabbit's eyes lit up, and he hopped around with joy, forgetting all about his lost carrot. Next, Benny thought of the squirrel. He noticed the squirrel looking lonely on a branch. So he climbed up and said, "Let's play together. I brought some acorns for us to share." The squirrel's frown turned into a big smile as they started to play, laugh, and share acorns together. As the sun began to set, Benny felt a warm glow in his heart. He realized that kindness was like magic. It made everyone happier. All the animals in the forest gathered around him, and they shared stories, laughter, and more acts of kindness. Benny smiled and said, "When we are kind to each other, we fill our hearts with happiness." From that day on, Benny and his friends made a promise to always be kind to one another. They discovered that kindness was the most wonderful thing in the world. And so, their hearts were always full of joy, and they lived happily ever after, spreading kindness everywhere they went. The Paintbox of Imagination. One sunny afternoon, Leela found a shiny paint box hidden under a big oak tree in her garden. When she opened it, the colors inside shimmered and sparkled like tiny stars. Curious, she dipped her brush into the bright red paint and gently touched the garden path. To her surprise, a little red bird popped out, chirping happily. Leela giggled, realizing this wasn't an ordinary paint box. It was magical. Excited, Leela chose blue next. She painted a big, fluffy cloud in the sky, and suddenly a friendly blue dragon appeared, smiling and waving its tiny wings. "Hello, Leela," it said in a soft voice. Leela was amazed and climbed onto the dragon's back. Together, they soared over the garden, painting colors in the sky as they flew. Every color she touched came alive, making the world around her a magical place full of joy and wonder. As the sun began to set, Leela painted a golden sun with a big happy smile. The sun shone brighter and warmer, wrapping the garden in a cozy glow. Leela felt happy and peaceful, knowing the paint box could bring her dreams to life anytime she wished. She closed it gently, promising to return for more colorful adventures. With a heart full of magic, Leela waved goodbye to her new friends, ready to dream about the wonderful worlds she could create tomorrow. The Little Duck's Pond. Once upon a time, in a sunny meadow, there was a little duck named Ducky. Ducky had a bright yellow coat and a cheerful quack. He loved to swim in his favorite pond, where the water sparkled like diamonds. One lovely morning, Ducky paddled around, splashing and playing, when he noticed something unusual. What could it be? With a swish of his tail, Ducky swam closer to the edge of the pond. There, he found a shiny silver pebble. "Wow!" Ducky exclaimed. "I've never seen a pebble like this before." Just then, his friend Freddie the Frog hopped over and said, "That's a magic pebble, Ducky. It can grant one wish." Ducky thought long and hard about his wish. "I wish for all my friends to join me for a fun day at the pond," he finally decided. In an instant, the magic pebble glowed brightly, and just like that, all the pond creatures came swimming in. The fish danced, the dragonflies twirled, and everyone had a blast. That day, Ducky realized the best magic of all was the joy of friendship. As the sun began to set, they all gathered by the water's edge, watching the colors of the sky change. "Thank you, Magic Pebble," Ducky quacked happily, "for bringing us all together." The family road trip of Rosie and Ryan. One sunny morning, Rosie and Ryan jumped into their family car, ready for a big road trip. "Where are we going?" Rosie asked, her eyes shining with excitement. "To the magic forest," Ryan replied, holding a map. They packed their favorite snacks and waved goodbye to their house, the adventure ahead making them giggle. As they drove along, they passed fields of flowers dancing in the breeze and tall trees whispering secrets. Suddenly, a friendly rabbit hopped alongside their car. "Hello, Rosie and Ryan," said the rabbit. "Would you like to play?" The siblings laughed and cheered. "Yes." The rabbit led them to a sunny meadow where a picnic party was happening. Animals of all kinds were gathered: squirrels, birds, and even a wise old turtle. They shared sandwiches, grapes, and cookies. Rosie and Ryan laughed as they played games and danced with their new furry friends. After a day full of laughter and fun, it was time to head home. Rosie and Ryan waved goodbye to their new friends, promising to return. As they drove back, they shared stories of their adventure, feeling happy and loved. "Best road trip ever," they shouted together, dreaming of the next one. Spring is here with Lily and Leah. One sunny morning, Lily the bunny woke up with a big stretch. "Hooray, spring is here," she squeaked, hopping out of her cozy burrow. She dashed to find her best friend, Leo the little bear. "Leo, come see all the beautiful flowers." Leo lumbered over, his eyes sparkling. "Wow, Lily, look at all the colors," he exclaimed. The meadow was a rainbow of tulips, daisies, and daisies dancing in the gentle breeze. The two friends laughed as they rolled in the grass, feeling the warm sun on their fur. Suddenly, a flurry of butterflies fluttered by. "Look, Leo, they want to play," shouted Lily. The butterflies danced around them, and the two friends tried to catch them. They giggled and twirled as the butterflies led them on a merry chase across the meadow. At the end of their adventure, Lily and Leo flopped down on the soft grass, tired but happy. "Spring is the best," said Leo, panting. "Yes, I love playing with you, Leo," replied Lily. Together, they watched the butterflies as they danced in the sunset, knowing this was just the beginning of their springtime fun. Four little chicks big hatching. On a sunny morning, in a cozy little chicken coop, 4 eggs began to wiggle and jiggle. Inside each egg, 4 little chicks were ready for their big adventure. "Peep, peep," chirped Chickie, the yellow chick, as she nudged her shell with her tiny beak. "I want to see the world." Soon, one by one, the eggs cracked open. Out popped Chickie, followed by Brownie, the adventurous brown chick, then Fluffy, the gray chick, and finally Snow, the little white chick. They all flapped their tiny wings and cheeped happily. "Look at us. We're free." The little chicks explored their cozy coop, filled with soft hay and warm sunlight. They found shiny bugs and colorful flowers outside. "Let's play hide and seek," chirped Brownie. The chicks giggled and ran around, their fluffy feathers fluttering in the breeze. Suddenly, they heard a soft cluck. It was their mother hen. "Chickies, it's time for lunch," she called. The chicks scampered back to her, chirping excitedly. Mother hen had brought them tasty seeds and fresh water. They pecked and chirped, munching happily together. After their delicious lunch, the chicks snuggled under their mother's wings, feeling safe and happy. As the sun set, they closed their eyes, dreaming of more adventures to come. Together, they had shared a wonderful day, and tomorrow would be even bigger. The Christmas Magic of Max and Mia. Once upon a time, in a warm and cozy house, there lived two curious siblings named Max and Mia. They loved Christmas. One chilly evening, while decorating the Christmas tree, they discovered a magical snow globe hidden under the couch. It sparkled and shimmered, and they could hear soft giggles coming from inside. Max and Mia shared a look of excitement. "What do you think it is?" asked Mia. "Let's find out," replied Max, shaking the globe gently. As soon as they shook the snow globe, a swirl of glittering snowflakes burst out. Suddenly, Max and Mia found themselves in a magical winter wonderland. Everything was covered in fluffy white snow, and the air was filled with the scent of gingerbread cookies. "Wow!" they exclaimed, looking around at the twinkling lights and the joyous snowmen dancing nearby. "This is amazing," said Mia, her eyes sparkling with delight. In the heart of the wonderland, they met a friendly little elf named Jingle. "Welcome," he said with a big smile. "We need your help to spread Christmas cheer. Can you help us share gifts with all the children in the world?" Max and Mia nodded enthusiastically. They filled their arms with colorful presents and followed Jingle as he led them to a magical sleigh. "Let's fly," he cheered. With a whoosh, the sleigh soared into the sky. They flew over rooftops, spreading gifts and laughter everywhere. Max and Mia giggled as they sprinkled magic dust over each home, making sure every child felt the joy of Christmas. "This is the best adventure ever," shouted Max as they zipped through the starry night. Mia smiled and said, "I love sharing happiness." After their wonderful adventure, Jingle brought them back to the living room. The snow globe sparkled once more, and Max and Mia hugged each other tightly. "That was magical," said Mia, "and we learned that the best gift is sharing love and joy with others." Max nodded and added, "Let's always remember to spread Christmas magic." And from that day on, every Christmas was filled with their special magic of kindness and giving. The Happy Dolphin's Leap. In the sparkling blue ocean, Daisy the dolphin loved to leap high into the sky. Every morning, she would jump and splash, singing her happy dolphin song. One sunny day, Daisy noticed some new friends swimming nearby, a little turtle, some colorful fish, and a cheerful seagull flying above. Daisy smiled wide and waved her fin to say hello. The friends laughed and played together, splashing and swirling with joy in the warm sunshine. Daisy wanted to show her friends something special. She told them about her favorite jump, a big, happy leap that felt like flying. With a joyful splash, Daisy soared higher than ever before. Her friends clapped and cheered, amazed by how high she could go. The little turtle tried to jump too, but just made a tiny splash. The fish and the seagull giggled, and Daisy invited everyone to try leaping in their own way, making the ocean sparkle with laughter and fun. Suddenly, Daisy had a wonderful idea. She said, "Let's all make a happy leap together." The friends gathered close, and on a count of 3, they leaped and splashed at the same time. The ocean danced with their joy, and a big rainbow arched across the sky. Everyone cheered, feeling the magic of friendship and happiness. Daisy smiled the biggest smile ever, knowing that sharing fun made their day the best one yet. And from that day on, every leap was a happy leap shared with friends. The Sunshine Puppy. Once upon a time, in a beautiful meadow, there lived a puppy named Sunny. He was no ordinary puppy. His fur shimmered like the sun, and wherever he went, he brought warmth and happiness. Every morning, Sunny would wake up with a wagging tail, ready to greet the day with joy. He loved to play with his friends, the bunny named Bella, the kitten named Max, and the squirrel named Sammy. One sunny day, Sunny decided to take his friends on an adventure. "Let's explore the meadow," he barked happily. They bounced and scampered through the colorful flowers, giggling and playing tag. Sunny's bright light made the flowers bloom even brighter, and soon, butterflies danced around them in the warm sunshine. Suddenly, they heard a soft whimper. It was a little bird stuck in a bush. Sunny and his friends gathered around. "Don't worry, little bird, we'll help you." With a gentle nudge of his nose, Sunny used his warm light to guide the bird out of the prickly branches. The bird flapped its wings in joy and chirped a sweet song to thank them. With the bird safe and sound, the friends danced in circles, singing songs of joy. Everyone in the meadow joined in, celebrating the kindness of Sunny and his friends. From that day on, Sunny not only brought sunshine, but also happiness and friendship to everyone around him. The Circle of Friendship. One sunny morning, Bella the bunny hopped happily through the meadow. She loved to explore and meet new friends. Today, she had a special idea. Bella wanted to make a big circle where all her friends could join and play together. She started by inviting fox, turtle, bird, and squirrel. Each animal smiled and felt excited to be part of Bella's special circle. Bella said, "Let's hold paws, wings, and paws to make a big friendship circle." Everyone reached out their paws and wings, joining together. The circle was perfect. They giggled and laughed, feeling the magic of friendship all around. Bella said, "When we share and care, our circle grows stronger and happier." Suddenly, Bird flapped her wings and said, "Let's share our favorite things." Fox brought a shiny red apple, Turtle showed his colorful shell, Squirrel offered a crunchy acorn, and Bella shared a sweet carrot. Everyone took turns sharing and listening. They learned that sharing made their circle even more special and full of love. As the sun began to set, Bella and her friends sat in the circle, feeling happy and warm inside. They knew their friendship was like a circle that never ends, always bringing joy and kindness. Bella whispered, "Friends are the brightest stars in our meadow." Everyone smiled, ready to play again tomorrow in their magical circle of friendship. The Tale of Timmy and Tina. One sunny morning, Timmy put on his favorite red shirt and grabbed his little adventure backpack. Outside in the garden, he met Tina, a wise and playful turtle who could talk. Tina smiled and said, "Hello, Timmy. Today is perfect for an adventure." Timmy's eyes sparkled with excitement as he asked, "Where shall we go?" Tina pointed to the sparkling garden path and said, "Let's explore the magical garden where flowers sing and clouds float like cotton candy." Together, they stepped into a world full of colors and surprises. As they wandered along the path, the flowers began to sing sweet songs that made Timmy giggle and dance. Tina told stories about each flower's special magic. One flower whispered, "I can spread happiness with my petals." Timmy reached out to touch a glowing yellow bloom, and suddenly, tiny sparkles floated up into the air. The clouds above floated low and looked like soft, pink cotton candy that almost begged to be tasted. Timmy and Tina laughed together, feeling like they had stepped into a dream full of fun and wonder. Suddenly, a gentle breeze carried a tiny sparkling seed towards Timmy. Tina explained, "This is a wishing seed. If we plant it carefully, something wonderful will grow." Timmy and Tina found a cozy spot by a bright green bush and planted the seed together. They watered it with a little magic from Tina's shell, and soon a small glowing sprout popped up. Timmy cheered, "Wow, it's growing so fast." Tina smiled, "That's the magic of friendship and imagination." As the sun began to set, Timmy and Tina sat side by side, dreaming of all the adventures still to come in their magical garden. The Pinata of Surprises. One sunny morning, Luna and her friends found a sparkling pinata hanging from the tallest tree in the meadow. It wasn't an ordinary pinata. It shimmered with bright colors and twinkled like a little star. Luna gently tapped the pinata with a stick, and to their surprise, a soft glow surrounded it. Suddenly, tiny colorful bubbles floated out, each holding a small, magical surprise inside. The friends giggled with delight, wondering what wonders awaited them. The first bubble popped gently near Mia, releasing a flurry of sparkling stickers that floated down like shiny leaves. Mia caught them with a big smile, sharing them with everyone. Each sticker had a happy face or a cute animal, making the friends laugh and stick them on their shirts and hats. The meadow seemed to sparkle just like the stickers, and the friends knew the pinata was full of happy surprises to share. Next, Luna tapped the pinata again, and a second bubble floated to Tim. Inside was a tiny, glowing book that whispered stories as it opened. Tim's eyes grew big as the pinata told tales of friendly dragons, dancing trees, and brave little mice. All the friends gathered close, listening carefully and imagining themselves in the magical stories. The pinata's magic made their imaginations fly like butterflies in the breeze. Then, a gentle tap from Luna made the pinata shimmer and a big bubble floated down, bursting softly to reveal a rainbow-colored kite. The kite soared high above the meadow, its tail fluttering in the wind. Luna and her friends ran around, holding the string together, laughing as the kite danced across the blue sky. The Pinata's surprises brought them closer, filling the day with joy and friendship. As the sun began to set, the Pinata gave one last surprise, a shower of tiny glowing stars that floated gently down, lighting up the meadow like little lanterns. Luna and her friends sat beneath the tree, watching the stars twinkle softly. They whispered thanks to the magical Pinata for the wonderful day filled with surprises, laughter, and new memories. The Pinata had shown them the magic of sharing and dreaming together. The Little Falcon's Dive. High up on a tall, rocky cliff lived a little falcon named Flicker. Flicker was small but full of dreams. Every day, he watched the other birds swoop and glide through the sky, wishing he could join them. His feathers were soft and shiny, and his eyes sparkled with curiosity. But Flicker was a little scared of flying too far. Today, he decided it was time to be brave and try his very first big dive from the cliff. Flicker took a deep breath and spread his tiny wings wide. The wind tickled his feathers as he leaned forward a little more. His friends, the wise owl and the playful squirrel, called out, "You can do it, Flicker. The sky is waiting for you." Flicker's heart thumped fast, but he remembered how fun it would be to fly, to feel the breeze under his wings, and to see the world from way up high. Then, with a joyful chirp, Flicker pushed off the cliff and dove into the air. At first, his wings fluttered quickly, and he felt a fluttery tickle in his tummy. But soon, the wind caught him, lifting him up higher and higher. Flicker swooped and soared, spinning with delight. Below him, the trees, river, and happy animals looked like tiny toys. Flicker had never felt so free and brave before. When Flicker finally glided back to the cliff, all his friends cheered and clapped their paws and wings. Flicker felt proud and happy, knowing he had faced his fear and discovered something amazing. From that day on, the little falcon wasn't just a dreamer. He was a flyer, ready for many more adventures in the wide, wonderful sky. The Little Chicken's Peep. Early one sunny morning, Little Pip the chicken woke up feeling very curious. She looked around at the big, bright farm and thought, "Today I will try to peep." But when she opened her beak, only a tiny whisper came out. Pip tried again and again, but her peep was so soft it sounded like a gentle breeze. "Oh dear," she said, "will I ever have a peep that I can share?" Just then, Daisy the cow came over, her big eyes sparkling kindly. "Hello, Pip, I heard your tiny peep. It's very special," said Daisy. "When I was little, I was shy to moo too, but one day I found my voice and it was wonderful." Pip smiled and felt her heart feel a little braver. "Maybe my peep just needs a little time," she thought. Next, Percy the pig trotted by, wagging his curly tail. "Hey, Pip, don't worry if your peep is small. When I was little, my oinks were tiny squeaks. Now I sing and play all day." Pip giggled, seeing Percy bounce happily in the mud. "Thanks, Percy, I'll keep trying," she said, feeling even more excited. Then Fluffy Sheba the sheep appeared, softly bleating, "Pip, your peep is like a tiny song waiting to grow strong. When you feel ready, just sing from your heart." Pip took a deep breath and thought about all her new friends. She felt warm and happy inside. "I'll try once more," she whispered. With a big smile and a brave heart, Pip opened her beak wide and let out her very first peep. It was soft, sweet, and clear, just like her. All the animals cheered and clapped their paws and hooves. "Hooray for Pip's peep," they said. Pip twirled around happily, knowing her special peep was something wonderful after all. The happy northern cardinal's crest. Ruby the northern cardinal loved her bright red crest. Every morning, she would sing a happy song from the top of the tallest tree. Her shiny feathers sparkled in the sunlight, and all the forest friends smiled when they saw her. Ruby felt very proud and joyful because her crest made her feel special. One windy day, a sudden breeze blew through the forest. Whoosh! A few of Ruby's crest feathers floated gently away like tiny red leaves. Ruby blinked in surprise and felt a little worried. "Where did my feathers go?" she chirped softly. She decided to follow the breeze and find her lost feathers. Ruby's friends joined her on the adventure. Sammy, the squirrel, scampered along the branches, and Bella the bunny hopped beside her. Even Blue, the tiny bluebird, flew overhead to look out for the feathers. Together, they searched under bushes, behind trees, and near the sparkling stream. After a fun day of searching, Ruby found her feathers caught on a soft patch of moss. She smiled brightly, feeling happy inside and out. "Thank you, friends," she sang. She learned that even if her crest feathers floated away, her happiness and friends made her shine the most. The brave little Firefly. In the middle of a peaceful forest lived a tiny firefly named Flicker. Flicker was small, but had the brightest light of all the fireflies. Every night, Flicker loved to dance in the dark, lighting up the leaves and flowers around. All the forest animals would smile when they saw Flicker's glowing tail twinkle like a little star. Flicker dreamed of lighting up the whole forest one day, making the night feel warm and happy. One evening, dark clouds gathered above the forest, and a big storm started to rumble. The wind howled and the rain poured down, making the forest dark and scary. All the animals hurried to find safe places to hide, but some little ones got lost in the rain and shadows. Flicker knew the forest needed a bright light to help everyone find their way home. Even though Flicker was small, it was time to be brave and shine brighter than ever before. Gathering all the courage inside, Flicker's light grew bigger and brighter, shining through the thick rain and dark clouds. Flicker flew high and low, guiding the lost animals back to their homes. The little rabbit hopped safely back to its cozy burrow, the sleepy owl found its tree nest, and the tiny hedgehog rolled into its warm leaves. The forest wasn't scary anymore because Flicker's brave little light was there to brighten the night. When the storm finally passed, the forest sparkled under a sky full of stars. All the animals gathered around Flicker, cheering and thanking the brave little firefly. Flicker smiled, feeling proud and happy. Even though Flicker was tiny, the little light made a big difference that night. From then on, Flicker knew that being brave and kind could brighten the darkest moments and bring everyone together. The Little Platypus's Bill. Pippin the little platypus loved to splash and swim in the sparkling river, but sometimes he wondered about his funny, flat bill. "Why do I have this special nose?" he asked his mama one sunny morning. Mama smiled and said, "Your bill helps you find yummy treats under the water, just like a treasure map." Pippin was curious and decided he wanted to learn more about his wonderful bill. Pippin paddled to the riverbank where his friend Kiki the kookaburra was singing. "Kiki, what makes you special?" Pippin asked. Kiki laughed and flapped her bright wings. "My wings help me fly high and sing songs," she said. Pippin thought about his bill again. "Maybe my bill helps me do something special too," he said, feeling excited. Next, Pippin met Joey the kangaroo hopping near the bushes. "Joey, what's your special trick?" asked Pippin. Joey bounced with a big smile. "I can jump so high and carry my baby in my pouch." Pippin clapped his paws and looked at his bill. "I can find tasty bugs and plants underwater, just like a treasure hunter." He giggled, proud of his unique bill. At the river's edge, Pippin found Freddie the frog sitting on a lily pad. "Freddie, what makes you special?" he asked. Freddie croaked happily. "I can jump far and catch flies with my sticky tongue." Pippin smiled wide, feeling proud. "My bill helps me find food underwater, and I can swim fast too," he said with a splash. As the sun began to set, Pippin sat with his friends by the water. "We're all different," he said happily, "and that's what makes us special." His friends nodded and smiled. Pippin gave his bill a little wiggle, feeling proud and happy to be exactly who he was, a little platypus with a very special bill. The Friendly Piglet's Oink. In a sunny meadow where the grass tickled his tiny feet, Pippin the piglet woke up with a big happy oink. His oink was special. It wasn't loud or scary, but warm and friendly, like a cozy hug. As the morning sun shined bright, Pippin trotted out to explore, eager to share his joyful oink with the world. The flowers swayed and the butterflies danced as the friendly piglet's oink echoed softly through the meadow. As Pippin wandered along a winding path, he met Bella the bunny, who was nibbling on a bright orange carrot. When Pippin gave his friendly oink, Bella's ears perked up and she smiled wide. "What a happy sound," she said. Together, they hopped and oinked, making music with their voices. Soon, a little duckling named Daisy waddled over, quacking a cheerful tune to join their new song. The meadow felt alive with laughter and melody. With every friendly oink, Pippin's happiness grew bigger and brighter. He and his friends played hide-and-seek behind blooming bushes and chased butterflies that twinkled like little stars. When the sun began to dip low, the animals gathered under a big tree, sharing stories and soft oinks, quacks, and hops. Pippin felt proud that his simple oink had brought so much fun and friendship to the meadow. The brave little field sparrow's Crest. Once upon a time, in a sunny green meadow, lived a tiny field sparrow named Squeaky. Squeaky had soft brown feathers and a little crest on top of his head. But oh, how he wished his crest were bright and colorful like the big birds he saw flying high in the sky. Every day, Squeaky chirped happily and dreamed about having a beautiful, shining crest that sparkled in the sunlight. One windy afternoon, as Squeaky was hopping around, a strong gust of wind blew his tiny crest right off his head. "Oh no," chirped Squeaky, fluttering his wings. But instead of feeling sad, he decided to be brave and find his lost crest. With a little hop and a big puff of courage, Squeaky set off on an exciting adventure across the meadow to bring his special crest back home. Along the way, Squeaky met a friendly ladybug named Dottie who offered to help. Together, they searched near the tall sunflowers, under the buzzing bees, and past the sparkling stream. Even when the crest seemed lost, Squeaky kept smiling and said, "I won't give up." Dottie cheered. "You're so brave, Squeaky." Their laughter filled the meadow, making the adventure even more fun. Finally, near a cozy oak tree, Squeaky spotted a little sparkle caught in the grass. It was his tiny crest. With a joyful chirp, Squeaky picked it up and placed it gently back on his head. But something magical happened. The crest seemed to shine even brighter than before, because it was filled with all the love and courage from his adventure and new friends. From that day on, Squeaky wasn't just a little sparrow with a tiny crest. He was the bravest bird in the meadow. And every time he looked at his shining crest, he remembered that true beauty comes from being kind, brave, and never giving up. And so, Squeaky chirped happily, ready for many more adventures under the bright blue sky. The Journey of Harry and Hannah. One sunny morning, Harry the little hedgehog woke up feeling extra curious. His best friend, Hannah the bright blue bird, chirped happily beside him. "Let's go on an adventure," Hannah said with a flutter of her wings. So off they went, stepping carefully through the soft moss and crunchy leaves of the whispering woods. The trees seemed to sway and hum as if welcoming their brave explorers. Harry and Hannah giggled, excited to see what magical things they might find. As they wandered deeper, they spotted a sparkling stream that twinkled like 1,000 tiny stars. Harry dipped his paw in the cool water while Hannah sang a happy tune. Around the stream, colorful flowers giggled and wiggled their petals when the breeze tickled them. Harry and Hannah laughed and danced with the flowers, feeling the joy of the forest's magic all around them. They knew this was only the start of their wonderful journey. Suddenly, Hannah spotted something amazing, a shining rainbow bridge stretching from one side of the forest to the other. "Look, Harry, let's cross it," she chirped excitedly. Together, they stepped onto the glowing bridge, feeling it shimmer beneath their feet. As they reached the middle, a treasure chest appeared, sparkling with all the colors of the rainbow. Inside, they found friendship bracelets made of twinkling leaves and tiny stars, a special gift to remind them of their magical journey forever. The Little Puffin's Beak. Once upon a time, on a windy cliff by the sparkling sea, a little puffin named Poppy hatched from her egg. But oh, Poppy's beak was very tiny and different from all the other puffins. While her friends had big, bright orange beaks, Poppy's was small and colorful like a rainbow. She wondered if she could ever play and fly like them with such a funny little beak. Poppy tried to catch fish like the others, but her tiny beak made it tricky. She felt a little sad and sat on the edge of the cliff. Suddenly, a friendly seagull swooped down and said, "Your beak is special, Poppy. You can do things we cannot." Poppy blinked in surprise. Could her little beak really be special? With a big Puffin smile, Poppy tried again. This time, she picked up tiny seashells and helped a little crab stuck under a pebble. Her small beak was perfect for gentle, careful jobs. Her Puffin friends clapped their wings and cheered, happy to see Poppy's bright smile and clever ways. That day, Poppy learned something wonderful. Being different made her special and helped others in ways big beaks could not. She flapped her little wings with pride, ready for new adventures. And from that moment on, Poppy's tiny, colorful beak was the happiest beak on the whole windy cliff by the sea. The brave face of Benjamin. Benjamin was a little boy who loved to play, but sometimes he felt shy when he met new friends. One sunny afternoon, while exploring his backyard, he found something sparkling under the big oak tree. It was a magical mask. The mask shimmered with colors of the rainbow and seemed to sparkle with a friendly glow. Curious and excited, Benjamin picked it up and gently placed it on his face. Suddenly, he felt a warm, brave feeling inside him. With the brave mask on, Benjamin felt like he could do anything. He smiled wide and walked over to the garden where his bunny was nibbling on a carrot. "Hello, bunny," he said confidently. The bunny twitched its nose happily and hopped closer. Benjamin giggled as he realized that the mask made him feel bold, but his true bravery was in being kind and friendly to his animal pals. Next, Benjamin decided to climb the big tree with the tire swing. Even though he usually felt scared of heights, the brave mask gave him courage. Up and up he climbed, holding tight to the branches. When he reached the tire swing, he swung high into the air, laughing with joy. The bluebird sang happily from a nearby branch, cheering Benjamin on. It was the most fun adventure Benjamin ever had. As the sun began to set, Benjamin took off the magical mask and looked at his reflection in a little puddle. He smiled because he knew something very important. The brave face was not just the mask, it was inside him all along. Benjamin felt happy and proud to be himself, ready to make new friends with or without the mask. And from that day on, he always remembered that true bravery comes from the heart. Lily's Lovely Lullaby. Once upon a time, in a little house with a big blue door, lived a girl named Lily. Every night when the stars twinkled in the sky, she would sing a lovely lullaby. Her voice was as sweet as honey, and it made her toys dance and sway. One night, as she sang her favorite toys, Mr. Fluff the bunny, Chug the train, and Bella the doll started to smile and wiggle. Suddenly, a soft breeze floated through the window, and Lily's lullaby turned magical. Mr. Fluff hopped down and said, "Let's have an adventure." Chug chimed in, "Choo-choo, I want to explore." Bella twirled around. Oh, how fun it will be. Lily giggled and nodded. Let's go. They stepped into a world of dreams where the clouds were fluffy and the moon smiled down at them. They danced on cotton candy hills and slid down rainbows. Lily sang her lullaby, and the stars twinkled along, lighting up their path. They laughed and played until they were too sleepy to continue. As the night grew deeper, Lily whispered, "It's time to go home." Mr. Fluff hugged her, Chug gave a gentle whistle, and Bella waved goodbye to the magical world. They returned to the cozy bedroom where Lily tucked her toys in. With a yawn, she said, "Good night, my friends. Tomorrow will be another adventure." With one last look at her toys, Lily closed her eyes. The lullaby floated through the air, carrying them all into a world of sweet dreams. And as the stars twinkled brighter, they knew tomorrow would bring even more lovely adventures. The Grateful Little Giraffe. Once upon a time in a sunny jungle, there lived a little giraffe named Jiggy. Jiggy had a long neck, big bright eyes, and a heart full of kindness. Every day, she loved to help her friends. She would reach the juiciest leaves for the hungry monkeys and pick the prettiest flowers for the shy little bird. Jiggy felt happy when she could help others. One day, Jiggy noticed that her friend Ellie the elephant looked sad. "What's wrong, Ellie?" asked Jiggy. Ellie sighed. "I lost my favorite blue ball in the river and I can't reach it." Jiggy thought for a moment and then said, "Don't worry, I'll help you." With her long neck, Jiggy stretched out and carefully grabbed the ball from the water. Ellie's eyes sparkled with joy. "Thank you, Jiggy. You're the best," she exclaimed. Jiggy felt a warm glow in her heart. Later that day, all of Jiggy's friends gathered together. The monkey, the bird, and even Ellie wanted to show their gratitude. They planned a surprise party for Jiggy to say thank you for her kindness. When Jiggy arrived at the party, she was so surprised. "Wow, you all did this for me," she gasped. Her friends shouted, "Yes, we love you, Jiggy. Thank you for always helping us." Jiggy felt so grateful. She realized that when you help others, they want to help you too. That day, Jiggy learned that gratitude makes the jungle a happier place. The brave little purple finches, Crest. In a bright forest glade, there lived a tiny purple finch named Pip. Pip had a special shiny crest that sparkled in the sunshine like a little crown. Every morning, Pip would sing sweet songs and flutter happily from branch to branch. But one windy day, a big gust blew Pip's shiny crest right off his head and far, far away. Pip felt surprised but said, "I will find my crest, no matter what," and flew after it with a brave heart. Pip flew over the tall trees and spotted his crest resting on a soft patch of moss near a wise old turtle. "Hello, Mr. Turtle. Have you seen my shiny crest?" Pip chirped. The turtle smiled slowly and said, "I see it, little one, but it's on a slippery rock by the stream. You'll need to be brave to reach it." Pip nodded bravely, his wings fluttering with excitement. "I can do it," he chirped. As Pip hopped closer to the stream, a friendly blue butterfly danced around him. "I'll help you," it said with a joyful flutter. Together, they made a plan. The butterfly flew to distract a curious frog, while Pip carefully hopped onto the slippery rock and grabbed his shiny crest with his tiny beak. "I did it!" Pip cheered, feeling proud and happy. With his crest safely back on his head, Pip thanked his new friends. "You showed me how brave I can be," he said with a happy chirp. The turtle smiled, the butterfly twirled, and the forest seemed to sparkle even more. Pip flew back to his favorite tree, singing a song about friendship, courage, and shiny little crowns that come from the heart. The Pencil Pals of Paula and Peter. Once upon a time, in a cozy little room, lived two best friends named Paula and Peter. They loved to draw and color together. One sunny afternoon, they gathered all their crayons and colored pencils, ready to create something magical. "Let's draw our own pencil pals," said Paula with a twinkle in her eye. Peter nodded excitedly, and they both started doodling away, their imaginations dancing like butterflies in the air. As they finished their drawings, something amazing happened. The crayons began to shimmer and shake, and out popped their pencil pals. There was a friendly dragon with sparkling scales, a bouncy elephant with colorful ears, and a playful frog that hopped around giggling. "Hooray!" shouted Peter. "Let's go on an adventure." The pencil pals cheered, and together they all jumped into the drawings, landing in a world filled with candy mountains and rainbow rivers. In this magical land, they played hide and seek behind the candy trees and splashed in the rainbow river. The dragon flew high above, the elephant trumpeted happily, and the frog made funny faces that made everyone laugh. Paula and Peter felt so lucky to have such wonderful friends. They danced and sang, creating their own joyful tunes. But soon, it was time to return home. "We'll be back," promised Paula, waving goodbye to their new pals. Back in their cozy room, Paula and Peter looked at their drawings. "What an adventure," said Peter with a big smile. "Let's draw more tomorrow." Paula nodded, her eyes shining with dreams of new pencil pals. And so, they promised to create more amazing adventures together, because with a little imagination, every day could be magical. And who knows, maybe their pencil pals would come back again.